Yo, what's up, people? This is Clayton, and I want to make this quick little video and tell you why I started a SaaS, and actually not just why I started a SaaS, but how I'm thinking about different business models and what are the different characteristics of it. So, I was chatting with a friend the other day, and we were really jamming on while it's possible to make some businesses make a lot of different businesses work, right? You could sell anything, you could do anything. Why some businesses are more attractive to me specifically than others. And so if you don't know, I started a SaaS about a year and a half ago. It's called Roseanne. Let me show you real quick. It's pretty cool. And let me move this over here. So yeah, this is Roseanne. It's an SMS software. Basically, helps people with SMS marketing. It's a cool platform. We got a whole thing. It's a sick app. It's awesome. It does automations, helps people get more attendees on webinars, all kinds of different stuff. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is I started a SaaS, and I could have started any type of business. But I want to show you how I was thinking through what are the characteristics of a SaaS versus some other type of business and why I would do this. So, let's go through them. All right, first one is location. I've been trying to get location independent business since my friend Alex showed me the 4-hour work week, right? So you could do a physical business or you could do an online business. And clearly, I want to do an online business that allows me to go anywhere in the world. For example, I'm in Medellin, Colombia. And even though our company was started, partners in Florida, in St. Pete, I could be anywhere and it doesn't really matter. So I love online businesses versus a physical business where you have to be in a location. For example, my wife, she was doing real estate in Florida, which is great and awesome and stuff. But we were traveling this year, and she had to come back, and she had to serve clients physically there. So, it's optimal if you can do your job from anywhere. So that's one reason why I love SaaS. Startup costs, number 2. Actually, a lot of times, SaaS startup costs can be a lot. And actually, we have invested, honestly, a lot in getting the software developed. But luckily, one of my partners is our CTO. He's a developer. So it doesn't actually physically cost us money. It just costs us time. So that was a great way to do it. Now, versus I'm going to use a cafe, for example, as the other side, or starting a restaurant. So, for example, startup costs for a restaurant can be $1 million when you buy all the ovens and furniture and all that kind of stuff. So we were able to launch this online business for significantly less, especially because our partner is the main guy. All right, B2B versus B2C. So selling to businesses versus customers. Honestly, this is not a super great point because I think there's tons of businesses that sell to customers that rock it. And one day I would love to be in that world because the massive volume of people that are, just consumers, right? Your market opens up to a ton of different people. But my entire career has essentially been in B2B. And I like B2B because B2B, you can almost always justify the service with money, in that you can say hey, you give us this and you're going to make more money. You can justify the ROI. Consumers, they're not always looking for ROI. They're just looking for the personal preferences and taste. How much money you're going to make by watching Netflix. You're not going to make any. So you're just, selling that to consumers, just do you like it, right? So I like B2B for that reason. My whole career has basically been in B2B. And I like B2B businesses, but maybe one day I'll do B2C. Ability to charge. So this is another thing. In a cafe, what is the maximum price that you could charge for something? I mean, most tickets, you could buy 10 coffees, but, essentially, you're kind of limited in the amount that you'd be able to charge. It's going to be hard to get a client to go to a cafe and spend $1,000. However, in our business, in terms of sending SMS, we have packages that do start pretty low. We have packages that start at $50, but we also have packages that are at $4,000 a month. So we have clients actually paying us thousands of dollars a month to send tons of text messages. I mean, these plans are hundreds of thousands of messages per month, but it is possible for someone to come to me today and go, "Hi, I would like to buy your service," and they spend and they can sign up for a package that's $4,000 a month, and that's one client. That would be very, very difficult in a cafe. So I love the price elasticity of selling this type of software. And by the way, not all software has the ability to charge so much. The only reason that we have the ability to charge so much is because it's essentially based on volume, like the amount of messages that you send. And some people, they send a lot of messages. And I'll tell you, if you send a lot of messages, you probably make a lot of money too. So it's easy to justify that spend. So I love the price elasticity. And kind of as a side note, a lot of times when you start in businesses, you want to get your first product, you want to get your product market fit, but then one of the biggest ways to grow after you start getting your initial customers and product market fit is not necessarily to get more customers. Well, clearly you always want more, but it's to find ways to charge the same customers more and serve them at a higher level. So kind of like a product ladder, for example, right? So like my last business, in the SEO business, one of the biggest things that we did was we had SEO packages, and we just added another package that just had more stuff in it, and it was double the price, and people bought it. And that actually continued over and over and over as we grew. We just kept, raising the price of the thing that we were selling. Not raising the price, but adding another package that had more stuff. So the one time the max price you could buy from us is like $200, and then we came out with a $500 package, and then we came out with a $1,000 package, and then we came out with a $4,000 package, and then we come out with a $10,000 package. And every time we added a bigger package, somebody would buy. So it's great to have a business where you have the ability to charge a lot more or offer something big, right? So that's another reason why I love the SaaS margin. So you can have a business that has a small margin or a large margin, right? So a lot of times restaurants, they're skating on really thin margins, and they have to make it up with doing a ton of volume. And like a cafe, they would have hundreds of customers come in every single day and buy a coffee. And actually coffee, I can't really talk about it too much because I don't really know the margins of restaurants. And actually coffee, I think, is probably a decently high margin thing out of all the myriad of restaurants and whatnot. But in general, from what I know is that restaurants, they have like lower margins than, for instance, something else. You could also have a service-based business that could run on like 50% margins. But then SaaS often is a really high margin, meaning, you can sell something, it only costs you like a little bit. Now, the SaaS that I'm doing right now, the SMS, we don't have the highest margins because we actually have costs. Like when we send messages, we send them through carriers, and carriers, they charge us. So it's not the highest margin SaaS possible, but it is higher than another type of business, like a restaurant or something like that, where they have like 15% margins or something like that. So we have a lot better margins, and the customers can get value out of it. So, okay. Recurring revenue. All right. So, if you go to a restaurant, you're going probably one time. And with our business, we can charge every single month, right? Every month somebody pays for us because they have automations, they have systems set up, messages are always going out, they're always going to need it every single month to do the marketing. So that's sick, right? Now, there's an asterisk to this. If you look at restaurants, one of the biggest things for restaurants is that although it is like a one-time purchase, the reality is that you're going to get recurring customers because as people make it part of their routine, if somebody gets a coffee and they love the place, they're going to go maybe, 5 days a week, just part of their routine. So that actually is a recurring business in that case. But in general, you could have a business where people want to buy things one time, or you have a business where people want to buy things or they need to buy them over and over and over again. So that's one of the reasons why this business is really good. Labor. In a restaurant business, for example, because you have low margins, you can often only hire people at minimum wage or very low cost employees. And if you can only hire people at low cost, that means the quality of people that you're going to get is probably, determined by that. Like, not to say that people that are being paid minimum wage are not quality. You can clearly get them. I'm just saying that, people that provide a ton of value, like the best people in the world, they get paid a lot of money. So there's no way they're going to work those jobs. And a lot of times with restaurants, like the real game is how do you get people that you're able to pay minimum wage to do things good and do it consistently and show up. There's just not a ton of incentive if you're not getting paid a lot to do like an amazing, amazing job, right? So, and also, the labor has to be local, so you're limited to that area. When SaaS business, we have a lot more flexibility in that, and also, we have the ability to pay people at a very high level. So, for example, we can pay a developer well over $100,000 to help us, and that developer is going to be really awesome. And we wouldn't be able to do that if we didn't have the same type of setup, same type of margins, all that kind of stuff. So that's really awesome. And I think this might be the last point, but you want to think about a business that's sticky, meaning that a business that it would be difficult to get rid of, right? So I don't think that our business is the perfect example of this, but a lot of times, the closer you are to the sale or the closer you are to the money, the more sticky it is. Okay, so for example, if you go to a restaurant and you have like one bad experience, the likelihood that you're going to go back is like zero, right? You're probably not going back to that. And it's very easy to just change a restaurant. I don't want to go here. I don't want, you can take that out of your life very easily. Now, if you are sending text messages and you have automations built out, and it's all connected to all your whole business and all your other softwares, and it's really important, it's making you a lot of money, the likelihood that you're going to cancel that is lower, right? So that's another reason why it's awesome. I mean, the same thing can also apply to if you are working a job. You want to figure out what kind of position you can make that it's sticky, right? Something that if they take you away, it's going to create a big pain for the business. So, for example, like a customer support rep. If there's like a ton of customer support reps and you that person like quits or you get fired, like it's not a big deal. They can easily replace that. But if you are like the top salesperson, you're a lot more sticky, because if they take you out, then they immediately lose sales, right? So often the closer you are to the money, the more important that you are, the more sticky that you are, the better it is. So anyway, hope this was enlightening. These are some of the things I think there's probably more criteria, but I just want to give you the examples of, why some business models might be better than others, and considerations that you might want to have if you're starting a business. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.